Let's cross over to our guest in Ankara there, Chairman of Union of International Democrats, Bulent Bilgi, is waiting there for us. So thank you very much for joining us here, Bulent. So talk to us through the expat votes. What did they mean for these elections?
First of all, please let me say it's a big and great step forward for Turkey. Not only for Turkey, it is also a great step for the region in terms of safety, security, and stability. And it is also a good and really important step for the Turks out of Turkey.
And as I said, Bulent, so talk us through the expat votes there. What did they mean for these elections? Was the turnout high? I mean, expat voters have been voting since 2014. Back then, it was only 8% voter turnout, but now, to this day, we say about 48%. So how was the votes cast abroad?
Yes, the votes in Turkey are incredible. We are around about at 90%. When you compare this amount with other countries, Western countries, you will see the worst at round about 40 or 50%. In Turkey, we had round about 90%, and in Europe or let's say the Turks out of Turkey, they participated with 50%. You know, out of Turkey there are voters with Turkish origin and voters from Turkey. The amount is around about 3 million. And only from this 3 million, we have 1.5 voters in Germany. And when you see the situation, we had people around about 1.5 million who voted as well. And we see that in Europe or in other countries out of Turkey, the people are voting for Erdogan and for AK Party.
And although this time round there was no campaigning abroad, as it was not allowed in many European countries, has that really affected the turnout? Also, did they really know what they were voting for when it comes to the new system? Did they have an understanding?
I have no understanding for that. When we see the European countries are declaring themselves as democracies, and within democracies, people who want to vote, they need to listen to the politicians. And it was not possible for AK Party voters or for conservative Turks out of Turkey to listen to politicians from AK Party and hear their ideas. But it was possible for other parties, for CHP, for İYİ Party, and also for HDP. They could make campaigns for their party in Europe or in other countries, but it was not allowed for AK Party, and this is not correct, and this was not okay. And in my opinion, this attitude of the European countries, especially Germany and Netherlands and Austria, people from Turkey, they said, okay, when it is not allowed, I will vote for AK Party. And this was an advantage for AK Party at the end.
Well, before the referendum, the European Union and the European Union leaders were quite critical about Turkey switching to presidential system. So what are the issues and challenges facing EU and Turkey?
The European countries said, okay, the new system in Turkey is not in a democratic way. But we see other things in other countries, like in France. The president in France, the president has more rights in terms of doing some declarations, and this is not the same in Turkey. So it is important, and we will see how the new system will affect Turkey, how the new system will affect people out of Turkey, and we will see how it will affect the relationship between Western countries and Turkey. And let me please say another thing. The opposition in Turkey should respect the decision of the voter, and also the Western countries should also respect the decision of the Turkish voters.
And in your own view, how do you read the turnout of the parliamentary vote?
Yes, in my opinion, AK Party is below of 300, but the cooperation of MHP with MHP, it is more than 300. So therefore, when you see it from the perspective of AK Party and of Recep Tayyip Erdogan, it was a success.
Well, thank you very much for that, Bulent Bilgi, Chairman of Union of International Democrats, joining us there from Ankara.